start to put tension on my string drawback, I was like, okay, I'm gonna switch.
It's him. You can look at the horns when he's dead. I'm in the zone. Let the arrow go. Just perfect.
When they lose their front doors, you start. Yeah, that's how you know they're smoking.
Went about 5-10 more yards. We probably went 20 yards total. Kept them. We tried getting back up. And I saw him pull up.
We rushed 40 years rod that night. We got like 156 and something like that. And then the next day we came out to 163 even.
You're listening to the Whitecat Outdoors podcast, bringing you to the table where we talk about the outdoors.
Welcome to, you're an idiot, to installment 113 of the Whitecat Outdoors podcast. Nick and Tom are sitting in the studio with us.
Hey, thanks for having me tonight.
And before we hit record, we were talking about the Whitecat Palooza. We're already planning it. It's from now on, mark your calendars, rest of your life. Last weekend in July. Last Saturday, Sunday in July.
Didn't we say it was invite only?
Yeah,
we're
but
inviting the listeners.
Yeah, but
okay. So if you're a listener,
just be ready for that. And then if you get the invite, cool. If not, well, you don't know where it is, so you can't come.
this is true.
Yeah. But that's when it is.
It's gonna be. It keeps getting bigger.
It was big last year.
Yeah,
It was a lot of fun.
like you said, I ordered. I think the first year I ordered 50 koozies, and I had plenty extra. I, for whatever reason, decided to go up to 75 this year.
They were gone in about 10 seconds.
Yeah, they were gone almost immediately. I was like, whoa.
It's probably 200 people, not all at one time,
That
but
Yeah.
circulated through. Yeah, I would agree. So I don't. Yeah, we had just enough food. Pretty much all of the food was gone by, I would say, 1 in the morning.
Yeah.
Besides the corn. I had corn going all
I
night
didn't
long.
even get started cooking till after 1 in the morning.
Hey, but it was a hit. We went through almost 10 dozen ears of corn.
That is great.
That was yeah. I still, out at the bars, get people asking about my corn. Like, it's
Attaboy.
still, half a year later.
It was
All
a
the
hit.
rage.
So, apparently I cook the best corn in the county.
How about that?
So,
Beyond the party, what are we talking about tonight?
well, we're kind of snowed in right now.
We are way snowed in.
Little
We're-
housekeeping, if you will.
Yeah,
we're gonna sweep the floors.
We'll keep the house.
For starters, I'm on my weekend, actually. This is Saturday afternoon or evening for me. So I took a little stroll with Hank, the hound, or the horn hound.
Horn hound.
I don't like that.
I don't like that.
It's gonna catch on.
I think so.
Every time you post a picture of
Hank
Hank,
the horn hound. It's gonna be perfect. Him and I took a little stroll today, about a mile and a half ish. It's like 1.72
Kind of
miles.
a slow day. Found a dozen sheds.
Yeah, something like that. No, I found one rundown shed in the woods. That was about it. But those weren't the sheds we were after.
how did you find a
I'm just kidding. I was
A
just making
rundown.
joke.
There's I know
Oh,
what shed you're talking
I
about.
Like a
thought-
dilapidated shed.
I thought you were talking about like a chewed up old
No,
shed, but
like a dilapidated
yes,
structure.
Yes. Okay. I'm an idiot.
Yeah, you are. But anyways, he's a low hanging fruit kind of guy.
Real
Doesn't-
short.
Yeah, it doesn't have much room between the ground and his undercarriage. So he doesn't really like deep snow. But we're walking, and we get, this deer track crossing into the timber, and Hank put his nose right on the track and started going into the woods. Quickly regretted it. Like he was putting his nose in every individual track and would just bust through the snow, hit his face, and just kept going. And he got like pretty far in there, and then I could tell he wanted to turn back. So he turned back and started heading right in, but then like he would cross a new track and would like get sidetracked.
I gotta go.
Yeah, I got to go smell this out a little bit. So we kept doing that for an hour or so. Finally, he was like, okay, I've had enough fun. Got back to the trail and headed back home as fast as he could. We were walking on like a snowmobile trail, so it was like pretty well packed
Easy
down.
walking.
Yeah, but I was shocked. I mean, it was like 50 degrees today, but there's just so much snow. Most of the snow in the woods was knee deep on me still.
Yeah, when I went and checked cameras the other day, I was well over my knees, and it's packed down a little bit. We've had a couple warm days since then, so it's not quite over my knees now. It's just under my knees, but
below
still,
knee.
yeah, it's deep. It's tough walk, and it's
Oscar Mayer snow out there.
Since we've had that warm weather, it's wet, heavy, crappy snow, and
It's that really good snow with like you get like an inch of crust on the top.
you
and
just
you
glide.
break through that and then down into the
You feel like you're gonna be all right, and then you fall through.
Yeah.
it's terrible.
Like we were saying, it's good snowshoeing snow.
Yeah.
Very-
Speaking
yeah.
of, Tom, you were out pulling cameras actually, and I didn't realize you broke out the snowshoes.
Oh, I wouldn't have done it without snowshoes. I did take probably like a 50-yard walk without the snowshoes just so I could see the difference, and boy, they made a heck of a difference.
When I went and checked the other day, I was walking across a field, so it was really deep. And I was like, as soon as I get into the wood line, it'll probably thin out a little bit. And it didn't thin out much. So I checked 2 of the 8 cameras that I had out, and I was like, okay, this is enough. I'm going to come back another day when it's a little easier walking.
Did you have snowshoes?
No, I was walking just with my rubber boots, and I don't even own a pair of snowshoes.
I'd look into a pair.
Say we
should.
got them for Christmas. Geez, like 10 years ago or so.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they still fit you.
Oh, they're adjustable, buddy.
I know, but like when you buy them for a child, you know, they don't always exactly transfer to adult size, especially your 13 double wides.
No, it worked out. It worked out pretty well. So I think Sunday.
I just want to interrupt you. You know what makes me mad? When people, like, you know how people go skiing? Like, that's
Like
that's a
cross
thing.
country skiing. you're
Yeah,
talking-
people
okay.
like will talk like, "Oh, I'm going snowshoeing." I hate when people say that. Like,
Why?
no, you're going for a walk and you're wearing snowshoes. You're not going.
Yeah.
You're not like. I really hope we get
Yeah, but
enough
you're-
snow so I can go snowshoeing. Like, no, you don't
You
have
don't-
that mindset. Who don't act like that's a thing.
I'm sure it is though. I mean, because people
People
go cross,
say it, but
people go cross country skiing and they
Yeah,
go
which is
skiing.
totally different.
that's not the same.
Yeah, but it's-
skiing
you
is
can't-
not the same as snowshoeing.
You can't cross country ski in the middle of July in Pennsylvania. So you wait for winter to use that sort of thing. And I have a feeling there are some individuals out there that wait for winter to snowshoe.
They don't wait for it. They just need to use them in certain circumstances.
I mean,
People look forward to skiing. People aren't like, I really hope it's really shitty to walk through the snow, so I have to use snowshoes.
I mean, agree to disagree.
I don't know.
I don't know. I tell you what.
You're on my side?
Have you ever gone snowshoeing?
I will never go snowshoeing.
It's a
I
very
may
thin-
walk
it's a
with
very thin pancake.
snowshoes.
It's called a thin pancake.
No, I would never
Tell us
be
about
like,
your experience.
man, I really want to break my snowshoes out. But if the weather's
Right? No one says that.
but if the weather's shitty enough to where I need my snowshoes, I'm gonna sure be glad I
I'm
have
not
them.
saying you're not thankful for them. I'm just saying you're not like, come on.
Come on,
Snowshoes.
give me 2 feet of snow. Come on. No, I definitely if I could check cameras in
Did
the
you
winter.
feel like Yukon Jack out there? Like
No,
no, I probably would. Did you have like a bomber hat on and everything?
no, because snowshoeing, believe it or not, is a workout. Even though
People do it for fun all the time.
yeah, so I had a ball cap and a thin jacket because you work up a sweat.
A shacket, if you will.
Yes, shirt, jacket. But if you don't have the snowshoes, I wouldn't have done it. I would not have checked cameras that day.
Yeah.
You would have went on your 50-yard walk and said, okay, back to the house we go.
Exactly. But checked cameras Sunday here in PA, and in Pennsylvania, you're allowed to feed the deer when it's not in deer season. So, and I did it for years. In the wintertime, I'd put corn out. And I recently learned that corn is not the best thing to be feeding deer.
It's actually Scott that kind of turned us onto this theory.
Yeah, corn's not the best thing you want to be feeding deer in the heart of winter. And
It's kind of like
a
eating
Snickers bar.
Yeah, or Yeah, pretty much. I was going to say popcorn. But
quick energy, but it's not going to
Hold them
sustain
over.
them for a long period of time. So I guess in the wintertime, corn is a great attractant. Deer are going to eat the corn.
Yeah,
but
you're
it's
going to
not-
get pictures on your camera.
But it's not going to give them the nutritional value that they need to help them through
A hard winter.
Yeah. And what a lot of people recommend is soybeans or alfalfa. And alfalfa is actually, like in Saskatchewan, when people are hunting, you can bait deer. And if you know anything about Saskatchewan, it's like -20, and they
For
get
half the year.
a lot of snow. And that's how they feed the deer up there, is with alfalfa bales. So on our way out to the farm, we stopped at Tractor Supply.
How convenient is that? Right?
Oh, God. You can't beat it. Stopped at Tractor Supply, got a 50-pound bundle of alfalfa cubes and some...
How big are the cubes?
Tom said they're like little miniature bales. Like
How
like
miniature?
Like
handheld bales.
Inch by 2 inches by inch.
Okay.
So not very big.
It's like a thing of plug tobacco.
Yeah, you could get a handful of them in your hand. Like, I don't know, maybe
That's about the definition of a handful. Is about a handful of them, huh?
7 or
Fits
8.
right in your hand.
You wonder where they come up with these words.
7 or 8 of them right in your hand. Big 40-pound bag and a bunch of different minerals and stuff like that. Put those out there for the deer. Grabbed all of our cameras and got home, checked them out. And I tell you what, they were hot until about January 10th when we got
hammered.
all the snow.
And it stuck. We did not have a thaw in January. Normally we have some 50, 70 degree days. We usually have like one 70 degree day in January, and we did not get that. It was, the warmest it got was 30 degrees.
Yeah. No snow melted.
And
it
there was
just
a
kept
long stretch where it was low teens for like 2-3 weeks. It
And
was just,
even last week, it was single digits, 0.
yeah.
So we got snow, and it just kept piling up.
And we didn't have much before the new year. Like in December, we
No.
had a little here
No,
and
it
there.
literally-
We did not plow the driveway until after the new year.
Literally,
Yeah.
we had nothing. I got my teeth pulled, and then I worked nonstop for like 3 weeks. Like as soon as I got them pulled, went back to work 2 days later and just didn't stop working for 2 weeks or 3 weeks. I mean, a lot of 12-hour days and stuff because the snow just kept coming. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, it's been a long time since we've just had it stack up like this, but we're gonna get a good thaw here. So that I'm betting camera activity is really gonna pick up here in the next few days after this big rainstorm. We're supposed to get like 2 inches of rain, so a lot of the snow is gonna melt.
I pulled all the cameras. I don't know if it was a good idea or not, but the way I look at it is I'm kind of old school. If they don't have antlers on their head, I don't really care to get a picture of them. Which I think if you're trying to pattern deer, that's probably not the best way to go about it.
If you're a shed hunter, you can watch them. Like you get this deer all the time, and he just dropped one side, and he showed up on camera. Like, okay, where might I be able to find this shed? So it could help in that aspect.
Yeah.
But you said you're not
Scott's found sheds just because he's got so many cameras. He's had a picture in one day where it's like on this camera he's got both sheds. Then on this
You mean
camera,
antlers?
or antlers, sorry,
They're not sheds at that
until
point.
they fall off, and then they're back to antlers when he picks them back up in the spring. No, then he would have them on another camera missing an antler, so he knew that there's a trail between those two cameras. It has to be on there. He'd go out and find it that day. So that was pretty neat.
Yeah, so.
I'm not a big shed hunting guy, so maybe I'll get into it. I don't know. But yeah, I just pulled all my cameras.
I just
Maybe
like
if you
leaving
could
my
keep
cameras out just
Do you
to.
think you'd do it more with snowshoes?
If you went snowshoeing,
Yeah.
Snowshoeing for sheds rather than walking for sheds? No, because if there's enough
Snowshoes,
snow on the
said
ground,
seasons. Try and say that 3 times fast.
if there's enough snow on the ground to where you need snowshoes, a lot of the sheds probably are under the snow.
fact.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure I walked over hundreds today.
I'm sure you did.
They were everywhere.
So that was, I mean, we got some 1.5-year-old bucks and some 2.5-year-old bucks that I know made it through the season.
Did you have any shed bucks on camera?
Not that I could clearly tell
Any
was
of our
a
big
shed
boys
buck.
come through?
No, I did not get a buck, in my judgment, over 2.5 years old
Really?
on camera. But like I said, after January 10th,
When
the cameras
dead.
were dead, which,
Well,
I mean-
and you
I mean,
said
I don't
walking
think-
through.
yeah.
What
And
was the traffic like in the woods?
in the woods, there was a lot of traffic along creek bottoms where, there's not as much
snow's
snow.
naturally lower. Yeah.
And then in the heavy bedding areas, like in all the treetops, there was beds and tracks. And
That's what I found when I went out checking cameras. The couple that I made it to, like I had the 2 cameras that I went to and checked, they weren't in bedding areas, so there wasn't a lot of traffic because of all the snow. But as I was walking from camera to camera, I noticed there were some really, really heavy traffic areas where they were bedding and stuff. So I did move a couple of the 2 cameras that I checked. I moved them to those areas that I was seeing because I figured the snow was going to be around a while. So I'm sure the next check will yield plenty of pictures and hopefully some promising things.
yeah, and the camera I thought was going to be the hottest actually had the fewest amount of pictures. We have it radish, turnip, brassica food plot that I figured the deer would be hammering. But I think there's just too much snow that it's not. They burn too much energy trying
Digging
to dig
to
down
it.
to the bottom than they actually get. So there was not a track in that food plot, which I was shocked. I figured it was going to be all tore up.
Yeah.
But where I saw it was most tore up was in the woods where there was a little bit less snow, and they were eating the acorns. They were digging through the snow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that we're fortunate with that property. It's very rich with acorns, so keep them. Did you see a lot of browse getting chewed on, or
No,
notice?
there's really not.
I mean, I guess not browse, but like saplings and stuff,
yeah, a lot of saplings had
chew marks and.
our apple trees. Any low hanging branch was chewed off. But then yesterday I was up in Clymer at the Whitecat headquarters, pulled all the cameras up there, and we actually had
How many cameras did you have up there?
4. And there was way more snow up there than we had here.
Mm-hmm.
So
Where was the traffic at? Because I haven't even talked to you about this. Where were you seeing? Was there still one over by my area?
the cameras?
Yeah.
There was one in your food plot, one in the corner of what was the mowed oats food plot in the big field.
At the jog there.
Yeah, there was one in the gas well, and then one in Nick's foundation food plot.
So what those cameras look like? Because I didn't get to see them pictures either.
Bunch of doe.
They were active?
Up
even
until
though there
about
was
January 10th.
So
Same thing.
Same story.
Yeah, very active. Bunch of doe. Some small 1.5-year-old, 2.5-year-old bucks. Bunch of turkeys.
Any of our bigger boys show up? So all
No.
of them gone.
But I think with that property and the property here in PA is they're standing corn
On other pieces around
pieces right next to us. So I
that's
think
easy.
I think a lot of the deer are bedding right by that standing corn.
Yeah, they
going to and from their bed to the corn, back to their bed, to the corn, back to their bed.
Mm-hmm.
Any bear, fish, or anything like that on camera?
Fox, a lot of fox. We actually got gray fox back home.
That's exciting.
You don't
See,
them
that
very
upsets
often.
me when there's gray fox. I love gray fox. They are the most beautiful animal, in my opinion. I think they are gorgeous. And when I hear about one around, because we don't have very many, when I hear about one, I'm like, oh, I really want to catch it so I can have it. But then I'm like, well, if I kill it, I'm not really helping this problem of having no gray fox. So it's
I've only seen one in person. It was up in New York, up at our big farm, hunting up there. That was it.
Actually, I'll get your opinion and your dad's opinion. Some people might think I'm crazy because it's a black and white picture. But I've seen plenty of black and white pictures of red fox.
I see a lot of gray deer at night.
I've seen a lot of black and white pictures of red fox, and this is not a red fox.
And they're smaller.
They're smaller, and their face looks, to me anyway, has a bit different configuration to it.
So, yeah, after this episode, I'll get you guys'
get a second
opinions.
opinion.
Yeah, but I'm like 90% sure. And my dad was like, yeah, that's not a red fox.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll see what you guys think.
So there's one, I see a red fox almost every time I hunt at the headquarters.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just one that really works that property hard and goes in front of every single camera, or if they're, I don't know.
I remember that one time Tom and I mowed pretty early in the morning.
About 1-2 a.m.
by I think like it was not even an hour after we finished that fox. Was
I remember
ripping
that
through the
because
field all
we
night.
were laughing about the time that you guys were mowing, and I think in the one picture you can see the tractor.
Oh yeah, while we were doing because we did the one lower field, and then came up into the bigger field. And
you can see the headlights.
You can see the headlights of
it
the
was
tractor.
Middle of the day.
Yeah, yeah. We like to run our headlights even in daytime. But
Oh, that was fun.
hey, sometimes there's just not people say
Not
there's
enough time in the day.
Yeah, they say there's not enough time in the day, and that's because some people waste it by sleeping. Mm-hmm. There's an extra 8 hours that you could be getting work done, and sometimes you got to utilize it. So
Sometimes.
I tell you what, I'm glad we did mow that night or morning, whatever you want to call it, because it took a lot longer than I would have expected.
Yeah,
It was, it was tall and thick. It was probably like 3 feet tall and super thick.
yeah. Even with a brush hog, it took.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we went 2 passes. We basically went like higher up over everything, dropped her all the way down second time.
Not to interrupt the mowing talk, but back on the fox thing, I've heard, I don't know if there's any truth to this because I've never been in an area where there's a lot of gray fox. I've heard that when you have a good gray fox population, your red fox population is not as good. And if you have a lot of red fox, you have fewer gray fox. And I've seen that in our area. We have a lot of gray fox a lot of red fox and no gray fox. But I don't know the contrary. I've also heard that like gray fox, they don't travel much. So if you only have 1 or 2 in your area, it's very unlikely that they're going to find a mate and breed and make more.
Well,
so
I got a picture of 2 standing side by side.
Yeah, that's
So we'll analyze
if they are gray fox.
Yeah. I don't know. Uncle Frank, he's sitting right here. Do you think you could tell the difference between a red and a gray in a black and white photo?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We'll figure that out.
If you couldn't hear that, he said absolutely.
I thought so too, but I tried telling other people, and they're like,
You're an idiot.
I'm like,
I
Tell
just
me to
like
go
to-
snowshoeing.
I like to just make fun of you on it because like it's a black and white photo. Of course, it's gonna look gray, but I do get that it's a different.
It's a
structure.
different
What kind of
species.
camera do you have? Or was it night? Okay.
was a
Yeah, it was a
nighttime photo.
nighttime photo.
So, what are you
Do
doing?
well, red and gray? Will they ever mate? Or
No, I don't think so. Dad's shaking his head no. So
there you have it.
He's the fox expert.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see because it's weird that Clymer property, the headquarters really is pretty diverse. Like we get a lot of random-
everything.
Yeah. I mean, there's bear, fisher, turkey, coyote. I mean, there's a ton of coyotes, and now apparently we got gray fox.
No, the gray fox
gray
was
fox
in
is
PA.
in-
Oh, that was a PA. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that.
Sandhill
we-
cranes.
Yeah, Sandhill.
Yeah,
cranes.
that was insane when we had the sandhill cranes on
That's
camera.
that's got to be in my top 5 pictures we got this year. Was Sandhill cranes.
That's
and
top
up-
5 pictures all time. That's a cool freaking picture.
It was like perfect.
Because
One
we
of the-
do not live in Sandhill Crane area.
No.
We did catch a cool photo one time. I had a box trap out. I was trapping raccoons, and I was using corn as bait. And I just, for the heck of it, decided to put a camera on my box trap. Well, a squirrel decided he was going to go in and get some of the corn. Caught the squirrel in the box trap and got a picture of a red-tailed hawk sitting on top of the box trap.
Just wait.
Yeah, trying to figure out.
How do I get you?
There's a free meal in there, and I can't get you.
So that was a pretty cool photo. Squirrel was released. No harm to the squirrel.
Uncle John got a photo of a coyote peeing on a salt block one time. That was pretty cool. Like squatting over it.
Really?
Yeah, like a female coyote just squatting onto a salt block.
I've never had it on a salt block, but we put like minerals out on around, and I've had a lot of fox go to those mineral sites and squat and piss on mineral sites. So it wasn't a block, but
Yeah.
interesting.
Get all sorts of game pictures.
Yeah, so
That's
overall,
another thing I love about cameras. You just see cool shit.
Yeah.
Not even if it's not a deer you want to shoot. It's cool stuff.
Yeah, overall, good camera pull. Learned a little something. So yeah.
Tom, before we started or hit record, you were talking shark attacks.
Yeah, Nick told you to shut up. What you said it was New Zealand or Australia?
Australia.
I feel like this is just a dumb story, but I would love to hear
it's
it.
legit.
No, it was the first fatal shark attack since like 1963.
Great white.
Yeah,
Great white shark attack.
yeah.
In that country or in the world?
Off that beach. No, I'm sure there's been more fatal shark attacks.
That doesn't
since
sound
19
right.
No, in that area.
I mean, Jaws was in 1975, and
Yeah.
he got a bunch of them.
Yeah, no, in that area. Which,
Talk about it, great white, Chiefy. So it was like a 15-footer.
yeah, giant great white.
It's wild.
What
Is that
were
the
the-
end? Is that the end of the story? That's
Yeah, I saw an article on it today. I'm like, that's crazy. 'Cause you don't hear a lot of great white attacks.
Yeah, there's nothing. What was you gave some dates out like real quick, but we were kind of talking over each other. How long has it been? Like, did they go clean
I
record?
believe it was like since 1963.
that's crazy.
And you'd be starting to think, okay, these waters are pretty darn safe.
I'm sure there were other shark attacks in that span of time, just not from a great white.
Was
No,
there
it
any
was-
stats on that?
No, there was other shark.
Can you
this-
stat that?
No, if you were listening, this was the first fatal shark attack.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said
Since
the
60.
first fatal from a great white.
No.
Okay.
I threw out the fact that it was a great white.
So
but
you just threw me off for no reason.
yeah.
Okay, Tom, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. It's just a wild story.
In other news,
In other news, there's that UFC fighter that tried to scalp himself against the cage. I don't know if you guys saw that.
He tried to, or it was an accident?
What do you
Well, I'm
mean?
sure it was an accident, but there was the cage.
We're just covering everything.
Yeah, there was, I don't know if it was a
he was
cage
trying to get
malfunction.
outside the cage.
There was a barb on the cage. He
Oof.
got shoved in, and oh god, look up the pictures on Google. It's rough.
So was that fight a no contest, or did he keep fighting, or what happened there?
There's no way. I didn't watch the fight. I just saw the headlines on MSN. There's absolutely no way he could continue.
Really?
Oh god,
Was that bad?
yeah. I mean, you can see skull. It's nasty.
That's not.
Check it out.
Yeah.
That's
Right
gnarly.
after we look at the Gray Fox pictures, I'll take a look at
Yeah.
that guy. That's wild.
I guess while we're talking UFC, Derek Lewis got
Knocked
knocked
out.
out hard.
Yeah, he did. He did. It was a good fight.
I didn't watch it.
Well, I guess.
113 episodes in, we just cover it all.
Yeah. We're
Yeah,
getting
why-
into sports now.
Could you imagine just okay?
Just transition from an outdoors podcast to, we're just talking football from now on. Baseball.
I couldn't do it.
Pitchers
of
and
that-
catchers were supposed to report the other day, but they're locked out.
The Nationals offered Juan Soto a contract.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
A huge one too.
13 years, $350 million. Turned it down.
He said no.
Said no.
I ain't playing for peanuts.
Yeah.
Is that what he said?
That's what my dad said.
I don't know. Obviously,
Does he just want to stay where he is, or
No, he plays there.
he plays there.
They're trying to renew a contract
to
with
the
him.
he play? Juan Soto plays for the Mets.
No, the
Nationals.
Nationals.
Oh, I thought you said the Mets.
No.
Okay, I was like,
No, Nationals, where
Oh,
he
yeah,
plays
I-
currently,
yes.
offered him
Okay.
a new contract for 13
see, that's
years.
why I was confused. I was like, I don't think he plays for the Mets.
No,
okay.
he plays for the Nationals.
Okay, yes, that's what. Yeah, that was in my mind. Okay,
Yeah.
How much again was it?
13 years, $350 million.
350 million. What?
It's
that's
like
not near as
29
much as Mike Trout.
$29 million a year.
And they play like what 92 games? a year?
162.
162.
I was almost there. You said we could do the quick math on that. That's like a lot of money per game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
That's
couple
very
bucks.
quick math. Just a lot.
But yeah, obviously he's got some beef with the Nationals if
Apparently.
you're turning down a contract like that.
Yeah, my guess is it's not about money at that point. There's got to be something
Something
going on
going
in the locker room or with the coaching that's saying, I don't want to play for you anymore. Because I can't, like Tom and I were talking about, there's not too many jobs I wouldn't do for that kind of money for 13 years.
$350 million, I would do a lot of stuff.
I just said, there's not many jobs I wouldn't handle. You know, Mike Rowe could put me wherever he
And
wants.
it's only for 10 years.
13.
13.
13.
Well,
Whatever.
that changes everything.
Yeah, I'm out now. That's
I'd
3
Those
be-
years.
last 3 years are going to kill me.
I'd be 37 and retired.
Yeah. Way into that.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess once you see that kind of money, it's not worth as much. But from sitting at this table, it sounds pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tax season, so I know exactly how much money we made this year, and I would take $350 million right now. I'd sign that contract.
We'd still be doing the podcast. It might just be in a
A little bit nicer studio.
Like some like glass top studio. Go high in the city.
Yeah.
No, it would be. No, I wouldn't want that either. But do
Anyway,
it in Trump Tower. Like episode 200 live from Trump Tower.
that'd be wild.
I think
guess
that's
we-
about
we
it.
say-
Yeah,
yeah,
I was
we've-
gonna say,
we've
why
gone
don't we
way off the-
why don't we stop this? and
We've
just-
gone way off the rails. Tom's even took the headset off.
He's
just
done.
Tom's signaling that it is over. So I guess we'll wrap it up there. If you stayed this long, you don't have to watch the news tonight because we covered all ESPN and MSN. So you can turn this off and make sure just to get outside now.